In this video, I'm going to show you a basic service I did for Ashi, my 2017 Africa Twin DCT. What all we replaced, what all we serviced, the process, and what every superbike owner would like to know, especially if you're looking to own an Africa Twin. How much did it cost? So stick around if this kind of thing is your jam. I might just show you the bill, right? Okay, no. Watch the whole video. Welcome to the Vipin Mishra project. I'm Vipin. I'm a film composer, music producer, indie artist by profession, and I usually put all things music on this channel, but I love riding, touring and telling those stories too. So I drop these vlogs and documentaries here too. What can I say? This is a stereo channel. That's a music joke. First off, we've got to take out the belly protection plate. This is a ACD Racing belly protection. It's been really effective. 4 nuts is all that holds it in place, and man does it hold in place. Look at all that gunk. Okay, you got to start opening the nuts on the oil sump. There is 1 nut at the rear, and that's not all. There is another nut in the front. In the Africa Twin, I think the engine sump has some compartmentalization, and that's why I think they've given these 2 nuts. I'm not sure, but I think that's the reason. Out comes most of the engine oil. While we move on to cleaning the chain, put some sort of a rust cleaner on the levers as well. It's the same spray that goes on. This spray seems to be a hot favorite here. Take a closer look. Let's take a closer look at what it is. It's called Rust Off by a company called AutoCop, and it's a lubricant as well as rust protection. Alright, so let's move on to the rear brake caliper and pull out the brake pads. Let's have a look at them. Man, they are completely worn out. I had an inkling, I could hear that sound, and that's why I wasn't really using the rear brake last couple of city rides. Got it here for it being changed. Well, did the good thing. Dry cloth to clean up a bit of the caliper. More of the rust off spray. Some more brush down. Yeah, nice and clean. More spray, lots of spray. I think I'll get like a whole dozen of these cans or something like that. Air pressure always helps. Clean it up, dry it up. And then there's this tool in which it's trying to push the piston that's inside the caliper. There you can see it. It's not completely flush. Now this needs to be completely flush if the brake pads are to go in nice and easy, right? There you see. Now you can't see that piston at all, which means it's completely flush. All this while my engine oil gently drips. Okay, fresh pads, and now you have a comparison A versus B. Just look at that. Yeah, there was no pad on the brake pad. Nothing was left. In go both the brake pads into the caliper. Interestingly, Israr, who's the technician here, he's sort of installing all of this by removing only one side of the brake caliper, just these 2 nuts. Those are the only 2 nuts that he opened. He sort of pivoted it on the other side. Didn't open those nuts, because to open those nuts you need to remove the wheel. Extra work, and why should we do that? The rear wheel is nice and free. There's no friction, there's no sound. It's all good. Time to take out the oil filter. This is a special tool specifically for the oil filter. Loosen it, give it a bit of a jostle, and then simply use your hand to unscrew it. Out comes the remainder of the oil. We now move to removing where the clutch filter sits in. The clutch oil is the same as the engine oil. It's all one oil, but it has a filter of its own. It's got a special tool again to remove the clutch filter. Clutch oil filter rather. Moving on to the front caliper. The front caliper has only these 2 nuts which keep it in place. Once you open these 2 nuts, you simply rock the caliper out. Be careful that that washer doesn't fall off. It did in our case, but we got it back. Okay, this also looks quite, well, full of muck and grime, but the brake pads do seem okay. And this is a nice way of making sure that your caliper doesn't touch the disc. Just put like a cloth or something in the middle. Start off with rubbing the caliper assembly with an iron brush, because that's how tough Africa twins are. Yeah, some compressed air. Look at that expression, rightly so. That's all the carbon that's come out of the caliper. Now these pads can sometimes take some effort in getting them out, because they've been sitting there for a while, and so you really sort of need to do all things, including maybe sometimes use the lever to pump it a bit. Yeah, it did take us some effort. Sort of push them in the middle, and then it pops out, because that's where the space is. Well, the pads look pretty alright, so we're just going to clean them and reuse them. More of the, rust off on the caliper, some more hard iron brush on the pads, push the piston back, get the brake pads in, push them to either side and make space in the middle. The space is very important. That's how the caliper will fit nicely on either side of the disc, otherwise you'll be struggling with that bit. The caliper goes back on, and the two nuts which we took out go back in, and that is pretty much it for the front caliper. We did exactly the same thing for the caliper on the other side, because the front wheel has two discs and two brake calipers. We did exactly the same to the caliper and the brake pads on the left hand side. It's just a mirror image, so I won't show you the whole thing. You could take your YouTube video, put it in front of the mirror, and that'll do it for you. Okay, that is the engine oil which Honda uses, so I thought I'll get a screenshot of that for you. It's a 10W30 fully synthetic oil. More rust off everywhere. It goes onto the stands, it goes onto the chassis, it goes onto the pegs. I think this is one really effective spray. It's time to get in the fresh engine oil. The Africa Twin takes 4 liters of this fully synthetic engine oil. Each of these cans is a liter each, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are set. But if you don't want to piss away your engine oil, you got to put back those nuts, right? 1 and 2, both the nuts go back. Give the new oil filter a nice dip in the fresh engine oil before you install it back. With the oil filter, you've got to be careful that you don't damage the threading on the filter. So it's got to be nice and gentle till you find the groove, and then that's that. Some cloth to get you a better grip, and also to clean off the excess oil. And the torque wrench is very important that you don't overdo this. The clutch oil filter goes back too, as does its cover. And in goes the new fresh synthetic engine oil. Just look at it, how beautiful and golden it is. Yeah. And look at that. The one that's come out. Pretty well used, I'd say. And that is Israr. He's our technician today at Big Wing World in Mumbai, Andheri East. Let's bolt back the engine oil cover. With that, we had taken care of the basic service. I had some additional work from the panels. I'm always very afraid to do this myself, because there's like fiber panels, and they've got these button type clicks through which they stay on, and they have some velcro as well. So I'm a little afraid I might just end up breaking up some bracket. So Israr helped me with this. We did not need any change in the coolant. We did not need any top up or change on the brake oil. Our front calipers were fine. Yeah, we did take off this screen since I was here. It's like 6 nuts, might as well do it here. Clean the windscreen, clean the area under the windscreen, because that really gets clean until and unless you remove the screen. So this is a good opportunity to just get. So yes, this pretty much was our list of things on the basic service. For those who are interested, right now my odometer reads at 32541 kilometers. I've done very little riding in the last year. 2022 had me doing a documentary shoot in Zanskar that took a lot of time to post produce. The outcome is great. It's on my channel, you can see it right there. I'll leave the card. I always leave it to the boys here to manage the bike inside the garage. Too many bikes here. Forget about damaging your own, you might damage someone else's. And unlike my son, this is Ashi's favorite part. She gets a good wash. Living in Bombay in high-rise buildings, that's really one of the things that's very difficult to do, is have your own pressure wash. I did in a bungalow or something, that'll be easier. Anyways, we are coming to that part where I am going to reveal to you if I can send my kids to school right after I sign off my kidney, as you can see. Well, that's it. 12960. Let me show you the breakup. That is the engine oil, 4 liters of it, $3,200. The next biggish thing is the oil filter cartridge, $760. This is the rear brake pad. Yeah, there are 2 brake pads in that. That's $3,800. What else? The clutch oil filter, just 370 rupees. And that is the labor, matra 2,300 rupees. Alright, I think it's very, very, very reasonable for the kind of stuff these guys are doing. All those are the taxes that the government wants to leech off us. The tax amount was 2,300 and the service actually was only 10,245. There's also a $450 discount there because everybody loves me. But the total was 12,959. That's what the service cost at Haim Auto Wings Private Limited. Thank you so much, Big Wing and Haim Auto Wings, for this awesome facility. Alright, I hope you got what you came here for. I hope the video did justice. This is Vipin Mishra Project saying thanks for dropping by. Please check out all the other videos. And hey, hit that subscribe button. Cheers. I'll see you soon.